Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for 12 News at 4. I'm Troy Hayden. Tran will be back next week. How about some good news to start our show today? The U.S. has reached an important milestone used for measuring inflation. For the first time in a long time, it's actually below 3%. So what does that mean for you and your budget? 12 News journalist Rachel Cole standing by with more. Rachel.
And you know, it is good news this afternoon, Troy. The consumer price index slowed below 3% for the first time since March 2021. That's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics' latest report that was released today. And you'll see here that many goods, including cars, clothes, and some of those foods actually continued to fall in July. So did some of the service prices that have been a big driver of recent inflation, like plane tickets. But a few categories that remain stubborn: housing and auto insurance, something that we all need. I just interviewed an expert who studies the complex retailing industry. Here's what he had to say about what we as shoppers can plan for.
It's going in the right direction. The rate of inflation is slowing, not fast enough, but it is slowing, to your important point. So the prices went up 26%. They stayed up 26%. They're up only 2.9% TTM, or trailing 12 months. So the rate of change is heading in the consumer's direction, but the consumers can't afford to pay the prices on the stuff stocked on the shelves in every single power category in the grocery stores.
So essentially what Bert Flickener is saying is that economists point to a lower consumer price index as a sign that inflation is finally letting up, which could put pressure on the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates as soon as next month, something that we all would welcome, of course. But he's talking about big takeaways for our viewers. You kind of have to look to name versus store brands for that savings. That could be up to 30% in some cases. Yeah. So yes, it's a sign of slowing, but it's still out of control at this point because of that 26% bump in the last 3 years.
And so the damage has been done.
Exactly.
And wages just aren't keeping up. In terms of housing, which is also important here, if the Fed, though, does decide to lower their interest rates, that could help in that regard as well.
And it certainly could. And, you know, you want to see some of those millennials start to get housing. We say it's really unfortunate that some of them are moving back in with their parents. They're trying to sidestep student loan debt. So certainly if the Fed can bring those rates down, it would certainly help with the housing department. And if you could put off buying that new or used car, go ahead and do that as long as you can.
And as far as 401ks go, the Dow was up some 200 points today. The S&P was up today. So if they get that cut in September, as everybody's hoping, maybe your savings goes up a little bit.
Exactly, and put a little bit more in the piggy bank for a rainy day, certainly.
Rachel, thank you.